Remembering a former First Lady, a champion for children's education, and the woman known as America's grandma. This morning, we're looking back on the life and legacy of Barbara Bush.
A West Michigan woman is behind bars this morning, accused of killing her own mother.
She did something she shouldn't have done, but she let people know what she was doing.
Why the suspect's brother thinks she did it.
New this morning, some counties in West Michigan are dealing with more pollution trouble. The new numbers just out that show things are getting worse. Today is Wednesday, April 18th.
Live, local, breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 6.
We always appreciate your company right here at News Channel 3. Great to have you alongside. Battle Creek Live Eye on a quiet Wednesday morning. Streets dry, Heritage Tower, one of the Kellogg's buildings. Good Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Porter. 30 out the door with maybe a little bit of sun, mostly cloudy skies. Also on the menu for lunch, 40 degrees, 46 with rain at 5 p.m. Right now in Battle Creek, it's 27. Kalamazoo, you're at 28. It's 32 in Allegan. What time rain will begin in Kalamazoo? How much rain will fall? Kirk, that's at 6:07.
This morning, the nation is remembering former First Lady Barbara Bush, the wife of the 41st president and mother of the 43rd, and suffered from COPD and heart failure in recent years. Right now, we're taking a live look over the White House where the flag is flying at half-staff right now in honor of the former First Lady. She passed away Tuesday at the age of 92, surrounded by family at her Houston home. Courtney Zabowski is in Houston taking a look back at her legacy.
As First Lady, Barbara Bush took up the cause of child and adult literacy.
If more people could read, write, and comprehend, we would be that much closer to solving so many of the problems that plague our nation.
But it was her role as mother of 6 and wife of former President George H.W. Bush that was most important to her.
I'm the mother of wonderful children and the wife of the world's greatest man.
A family spokesman took to Twitter Tuesday, writing, "The 41st president, to whom she was married for 73 years, held her hand all day and was at her side when she died." Her son and 43rd president, George W., wrote, "Our souls are settled because we know hers was." The Bushes have called Houston home for decades. Neighbors have been leaving flowers and notes here at their residence as tribute to the former First Lady.
She's just a normal lady, except that she comes with Secret Service.
When they weren't attending sporting events together, the former first couple frequented this Houston area pizza shop that named a pie in her honor.
She stood up for her family. She stood up for, America, and I'd say a real true First Lady.
Earlier this week, the Bush family announced the family matriarch was in failing health and had decided to receive comfort care at home. The 92-year-old will be laid to rest Saturday on the grounds of the George Bush Presidential Library next to her daughter Robin, who died of leukemia as a child. Courtney Zabowski, CBS News, Houston, Texas.
And this morning, we're learning more about funeral services for Barbara Bush. Her funeral will be Saturday at 11 a.m. at her home church of St. Martin's in Houston. The funeral will be closed to the public, but for those wanting to pay their respects, Barbara Bush will lie in repose from noon until midnight Friday at St. Martin's. Meanwhile, many well-known names in Michigan are remembering the life and legacy of Barbara Bush this morning. Congressman Fred Upton says, quote, "Barbara Bush was the epitome of class and as genuine as they come. She always thought of others first, was always kind, and was always quick with a joke and a smile. She led a life of service to her country and will be greatly missed." The former First Lady visited West Michigan a number of times in her life. Back in 2005, she delivered a speech at Albion College where she was awarded with an honorary doctorate for her work on literacy programs. Most recently in 2013, she was in Grand Rapids for a First Ladies event where she praised Betty Ford's dedication to West Michigan. Of course, stay with News Channel 3 all week long for continuing coverage of Barbara Bush's life and legacy.
Right now, a Portage woman is facing charges accused in her own mother's murder. News Channel 3's Jason Poor live at the Kalamazoo County Jail with why the victim's family says this has been a long time coming. Jason.
Kirk, Susan Kubicek is behind bars here at the Kalamazoo County Jail. Her brother tells News Channel 3 that she intentionally overdosed their mother on painkillers which eventually led to her death in May of last year. Police say that Susan Kubitschek turned herself in to the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office yesterday on a charge of second-degree murder related to the death of her mother, 87-year-old Dorothy Allen, last year. Kubitschek's brother, Steve Salick, tells News Channel 3 his sister was caring for their aging mother for months with the help of other nurses. He says their mother was suffering. She couldn't swallow or eat without choking, and she had pneumonia 9 times. We asked Salick why Kubitschek would do this.
It's going to be one of two reasons. They're either going to go for compassion or some other illegal stuff that Sue had already done. She did something she shouldn't have done, but she let people know what she was doing.
Salick says a medical examiner ruled his mother's death an intentional overdose last year, but police only issued a warrant for Kubitschek's arrest late last week. Salick believes his sister deserves the murder charge. Now, as far as the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office goes, they have not confirmed that this was an intentional overdose. We expect to learn more from them later this morning. Live in Kalamazoo, Jason Poor, News Channel 3.
New this morning, one person is fighting for their life after a serious crash in St. Joseph County that sent 4 people to the hospital. It happened at US 12 and Crooked Creek Road in White Pigeon yesterday at around 5 p.m. Troopers tell us a 23-year-old man stopped at an intersection, tried to cross, but was hit. His passenger, a 25-year-old woman, was flown to the hospital with serious injuries. The driver, along with the driver and passenger of the other car, were also taken to the hospital.
Today, a young Calhoun County father accused of abusing his 2-month-old daughter is expected to face a judge. 23-year-old Brady West is charged with child abuse. Deputies say last month his baby girl suffered multiple injuries, including broken ribs, a broken leg, and bruises. West's family tells us they think he fell asleep and rolled over on his daughter accidentally, but authorities believe this is a serious crime. West is also charged with criminal sexual conduct involving a 13-year-old in an unrelated case. Today, a judge is expected to decide if there's enough evidence to send him to trial.
Kirk, thanks. Just hit 6:07 on the clock. We hope you're on time this morning. Time to take it zone by zone in our Kalamazoo and Battle Creek Hastings zone. We don't see any rain until after 5 p.m. later today. As far as your temperatures for later today, 46 Kalamazoo, a slightly better 47 in Three Rivers and Coldwater. Okay, we take it at 4:30 this afternoon. We have rain at the lake shore. And it's getting closer to Kalamazoo at 5. It's in Kalamazoo between 5 and 6. Battle Creek, you're right there. We've got rain essentially everywhere at 7 p.m. How much snow tonight and when the 60s arrive? Kirk, that's at 6:20.
The director of the CIA held a secret meeting with the leader of North Korea. What we're learning was discussed. Plus, they may be watching out for grizzlies, but that's not why a Wyoming school district is allowing their teachers to be armed. The reasoning behind this controversial move. Today, you can find out what you're really passionate about. The Kalamazoo Community Foundation and Griffin Place are hosting a Find Your Cause event. The goal is to connect volunteers of all ages with nonprofits in Kalamazoo County. This is happening at the Foundry on East Michigan Avenue from 5:30 to 7:30 tonight.
Michigan's race for governor isn't slowing down anytime soon. The lawsuit up for discussion about the eligibility of one of the candidates. Plus, federal authorities are beginning to figure out what's behind a deadly in-flight incident. The technical malfunction, they say, may be to blame.
U.S. officials are now confirming that the director of the CIA held a secret meeting with the leader of North Korea. Let's get right to our News Channel 3 Alert Center with Jessica Wheeler. Jessica.
Kirk, 2 U.S. officials confirm that CIA Director Mike Pompeo recently traveled to North Korea to meet with leader Kim Jong-un. This was a story that was first reported by the Washington Post yesterday. U.S. officials are now saying Pompeo did go to lay the groundwork for direct talks between President Trump and Kim about North Korea's nuclear weapons program. The officials spoke anonymously about Pompeo's trip because they were not authorized to discuss it publicly. One of the sources says Pompeo, who's the president's nominee for Secretary of State, didn't take any officials from the White House or the State Department with him on the trip, only intelligence officials. The White House has declined to comment on Pompeo's visit, which took place around April 1st. President Trump said Tuesday that U.S. and North Korea were holding direct talks at extremely high levels in preparation for a possible summit with Kim. The White House, though, says Trump and Kim have not spoken directly. The president has also given his blessing for North and South Korea to discuss the end of the Korean War at their summit next week, amid a diplomatic push to end the North Korean nuclear standoff. President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un are set to meet in late May or early June. This would be the first face-to-face encounter between a sitting U.S. president and a North Korean leader. Live in the Alert Center, Jessica Wheeler, News Channel 3.
This morning, we're learning more about what may be behind a deadly in-flight incident on a Southwest plane.
Airport 10, there is a hole in the side of the aircraft.
Just 40 minutes into the trip to Dallas yesterday, passengers on Southwest Flight 1380 heard a loud boom. Authorities say the left side engine failed, sending shrapnel into the fuselage and blowing out a window. Jennifer Reardon, a mother of 2 from Albuquerque, was killed. At last night's news conference, the NTSB said one of the engine's fan blades was separated and missing.
Our preliminary examination of this was that there's evidence of metal fatigue where the blade separated.
As a precaution, Southwest says it will be inspecting similar engines in its fleet over the next 30 days. 7 people were treated for minor injuries.
Michigan Secretary of State is trying to dismiss a lawsuit declaring Democrat Abdul El-Sayed is eligible to run for governor because she says it's unnecessary. El-Sayed preemptively sued in March as questions rose whether he was qualified to run for governor. The state constitution says you have to be a registered and qualified Michigan voter for 4 years before the election. But while El-Sayed studied and worked in New York in 2014, his legal team says he kept his Michigan residence, paid state taxes, and left his personal items in Michigan. Republican Ruth Johnson says there's no actual controversy that needs a judicial review. She says the deadline for someone to challenge El-Sayed's candidacy is May 1st.
A school district in Wyoming is voting to let staff carry firearms. The same district is located near Yellowstone National Park. It's an area where U.S. Secretary of Education and West Michigan native Betsy DeVos famously said teachers might need to be armed to protect children from grizzly bears. The Park County School District voted 4-2 last night for measures they say would protect students from armed intruders.
If you missed yesterday's tax deadline, don't worry, you're in luck. The IRS extending the filing deadline until midnight tonight because of a glitch that brought down their website. The IRS says its computers were overwhelmed by the number of people trying to log in yesterday, so they're giving everyone more time to file. If you are using this free extension, you do not have to fill out any extra paperwork. Just file your taxes like normal. Maybe a computer glitch that everyone was happy about for a change.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Kirk, Erica, thank you. Moving to 6:19 of the clock. Sun coming up in 37 minutes. We have sunshine mixed with high clouds on Saturday. Entry into your weekend, 55 degrees. The bookend of your weekend, and we hope this one goes slowly. Sunday looks fantastic. Sunshine in the driver's seat, 60 on Sunday. A few flood advisories for you to know about along the Grand River at Lowell and Ionia, the Thornapple River above Hastings. One of them does not have an expiration time. That's the Grand River at Ionia. The rest of them should expire sometime early to mid part of next week. All right, we are seeing some signs of clearing near and south of I-94. So we've got a couple-hour window for some mid to late morning sunshine. 12 o'clock, though, we're moving toward a cloudy sky around 40. Now we get rain around Allegan at 5 p.m., rain in Kalamazoo at 6, rain everywhere at 7. I think after this point we're mixing with a transitioning over to snow. That's true in Kalamazoo County. Certainly at midnight, we think that transition will just happen a few hours earlier than this. It's a period of a few hours for snow that could accumulate up to an inch, a slushy inch. We're going to be right around the freezing mark tomorrow morning, so some slippery spots seem to make sense. Okay, once we table that, we're quickly turning sunny for the rest of your Thursday. Here's midday. And now 5 p.m., sunshine with mid-40s. In fact, we're actually forecasting 48 degrees tomorrow. That's not too far from 50. We're well into the 50s on Friday. Friday checks in with widespread baby blues and 54. European model, long-range tones, trends. We like them in the European model, showing our Sunday and Monday warm-up. We'll even keep warm air around Tuesday. This jet stream dip you see to our north, that's our next system for next Wednesday. That'll look like rain next Tuesday night and next Wednesday. You're looking right now at your evening commute, your evening drive fastcast. Rain at 4 at the Lakeshore and 46. Rain stretching into Kalamazoo at 5, 46. That continues at 6 and 44, both the rain and snow north of Kalamazoo at 7. Live Eye Camera Network, let's dial it up and check out your morning commute. US 131 is thick with traffic, but that's traditional, right? I don't see any stoppages here, so we like that. Grand Rapids Live Eye. Mostly cloudy sky at Kalamazoo, 28 degrees, light winds, humidity right now 85%. It is 27 in the Cereal City. At Three Rivers, Coldwater, Branch County, you're right there. Marshall, you're at 28, Charlotte 30. Bus stop weather thanks to Maple Hill Auto. We're looking great at the bus stop this morning. That's a win. 30 to start, 45 to finish, all courtesy of Maple Hill Auto. And I thought this was kind of neat. This is Monday in Lawrence. We had snow, of course, and a lot of wind on Monday. And thanks to the work of the wind, the snow actually curved and wrapped around the roof of the bird feeder. It's kind of neat. All right, Patty, thank you. Thanks to 1-800 Hanson's. Here's your forecast. 46 today. We're dry until the very end of the day. Remember, a little sun possible through late morning. Tonight, rain going to snow up to a slushy inch. 32. Some spots will be slippery this time tomorrow morning. 1-800 Hanson 7-day forecast. Essentially, if you look at, thanks guys. If you look at Thursday afternoon all the way through Tuesday, I mean, we're good to go.
Hiya, Spring. Welcome.
Yeah.
We missed you. Where have you been?
Can you stick around for a while?
Let's talk nice to Spring.
No taunting. No taunting.
We don't want to go back. Just a couple more days to get through here. Thank you, Jeff. Getting kids to eat healthy can be tough when they're seeing so much junk food on TV. While the odds aren't in parents' favor when it comes to commercials. You also need to have some daring taste buds to try out this new burger. It's Erica's favorite. While getting your hands on the tarantula is total luck.
When you see breaking news happen, call the News Channel 3 Breaking News Hotline at 1-800-875-3333 or email us breakingnews3@WWMT.com.
If you want your kids to eat healthier, you may need to keep them away from television. New research finds kids are exposed to twice as many commercials for junk food as healthy food. A study out of Australia finds junk food ads run more often when children are most likely to be watching. When they're most likely to be watching, this exposes children to as many as 800 commercials a year.
Kirk, thanks. Moving to 6:26 on the clock. Lakeshore weather with a cloudy sky in Holland, 33 degrees. Light winds, humidity 70%. Good morning, Chicago. You're also at 30 degrees with an east-northeast wind of 5 miles per hour. Northeast is essentially the theme throughout the lakeshore today, but only 15 miles per hour. Waves 3 feet or less. Now, they do escalate to 7-footers tonight. Sunset a minute later than Tuesday. We love that. That checks in at 8:27. What time it will rain later today? Best part of your weekend. Erica, that's at 6:30.
Okay, brace yourself if you are eating breakfast. A North Carolina burger joint is serving up a new kind of meal, the tarantula burger. It is topped with a crunchy, fully grown oven-roasted tarantula and a side of fries. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, you'll have to wait in line. The restaurant's owner only gets 15 tarantulas each year, so he raffles off the creatures in a lottery. So you'll have to be lucky and daring to get a taste.
Some really good protein.
Lucky is an interesting choice of words.
You're not trying this, huh?
No, a little too earthy for me, perhaps.
Earthy, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
People usually don't they send their food back whenever they there's a bug in it? Not in this case.
Yes.
Not in this case. All right. New data out this morning shows trouble is brewing with Michigan's air quality, which local areas are getting a failing grade. Plus, a controversial billboard targeting the NRA is torn down. Why the owner says this wasn't the conversation he wanted to start. And here's a live look outside over downtown Kalamazoo, starting to see the sun. It's getting lighter out there, and hey, spring, it's a-coming. It's gonna feel like it out there. Jeff has all the details on your forecast coming up in just a minute. Don't move. News Channel 3 live at 6:30 is next.